In the quest to survive in these tropical seas, animals have had to be highly inventive, and sometimes nature's own rules are broken. Consider the seahorse. These mystical creatures come in all sizes, some bigger than your palm, others as small as your fingernail. The daintiest of them all is the pygmy seahorse, whose life is completely bound to Gorgonian coral. The extended seahorse family consists of 320 species and includes pipefishes, pipe horses, and sea dragons. In most species of pipefish and seahorse, it's the male that broods the young. It's not just this unusual parenting that sets them apart. They have equine heads, prehensile tails, and bony body plates instead of scales. Despite their dragon appearance, many fish like to eat them. So not being noticed has become their specialty. Ghost pipefish are expert mimics of other animals and plants, including crinoids and coral. Their predators find it hard to see them, and so does their prey. They spend most of their lives upside down, focused intently on the sandy bottom, searching for the tiny crustaceans that are their principal food. So specific is their camouflage that pipefish rarely wander far from a particular habitat and perfect their mimicry down to the finest detail. Other species conceal their true identity by moving like eddies and currents, while some pretend to be sand-encrusted sticks or fallen leaves. Or pieces of algae. If you know how to look, the masters of disguise are everywhere. In this underwater Garden of Eden, even the snake turns out to be a fish. Down on the seabed, deception is commonplace. Individual reefs are often connected by areas of sand and rubble, and this is where the so-called bottom dwellers dwell. The most numerous of these are the gobies. There are over 2,000 species of goby, making them one of the largest fish families. Few of them grow bigger than your finger, which makes them a favoured food for many large predatory fish. So they're always on the lookout and never far from the seabed. They spend most of their days feeding, filtering sand through their gills to extract tiny food particles. Sand is everything to the goby. Sand puts food in their belly and also a roof above their heads. Many gobies build burrows. It's tiring excavation work, and partners sometimes don't agree on whose turn it is. If the domestic argument can't be worked out, then this species, camouflaged as big eyes, can always go for a stroll to smooth things over. Some clever gobies have enlisted the services of a slave. In a most extraordinary partnership, gobies and blind shrimp live together, bonded by mutual need. The shrimps excavate a burrow in which the gobies can hide, and they eat the gobies' scraps. The gobies act as sentinels, warning the shrimps of approaching danger. The fish and crustacea have such a close working relationship that they're always connected by tail or fin or feeler. For fish close to the bottom of the food chain, a safe home base is essential. Space is limited and good real estate hard to come by. Trespassing isn't tolerated. Territorial disputes are normally quick to work out, but not always. There's definitely no point picking a fight with this mighty armoured beast. It's the crown of thorns starfish, coral's mortal enemy. By disgorging their stomachs and drenching polyps with acid, they eat living coral and suck the life out of a reef. The starfish play an important role, clearing space and fostering biodiversity, and few have stood in their way. The starfish have always been a natural part of the cycle, but now the cycle is unnatural. Agricultural pollution has increased nutrients in the water, which in turn causes algal blooms. Starfish juveniles are feasting on this algae, and many more are surviving into adulthood. Plagues of crown-of-thorns starfish are now regularly experienced on reefs worldwide. But not all infestations are bad news. A perfect example is the unlikely alliance between the eared sponge and the pink sea cucumber. This sponge is highly toxic to most, but the sea cucumber has adapted to live here in huge numbers, rising off the edges to spawn. This is an inhospitable habitat where creatures are thriving. Perhaps it offers hope for life in our changing seas. It's certainly proof that anything is possible. The oceanic world is ever-changing. Nothing stays the same here for more than a moment. Over the ages, corals have come and gone. Today, they are disappearing again. But what sets this cycle apart from any other in geological history is the presence of us. For the first time in coral's existence, humans are having a direct impact on the ocean's chemistry and coral's destiny. Many scientists believe we are heading towards our next mass extinction and that humans are the cause. Reef-building corals are now seriously endangered. And as reefs disappear, hundreds of thousands of dependent creatures disappear with them. Furthermore, the demise of coral reefs is a clear indicator that our ocean is dying. And our ocean is our planet's life support system. The only way to save our ocean is to radically curb our CO2 emissions within the next 1 or 2 decades. We have all the tools to do it. And if we succeed, we will not only save our reefs, we will ultimately save ourselves. The future of coral and how this story ends is up to us.